We do love you, Leeds. Hello, everybody. No Sean tonight. Bit of a difficult week, so he's giving it a miss. So it's me and Adam going solo. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, good, mate. Thanks, yourself.
Yeah, really good, mate. Been working on the show all week. Like to bring different twists and turns. So here's what's coming up tonight on this latest episode of Night Leeds. Just gets better every time I say that.
Rocky in it. That's cool. So cool.
So cool. Absolutely love
so
that.
cool. But do say so yourself.
Yeah, let us know in chat if you like that. Adam's been working on that this week. I did little bits segments that we do into intro. I really like that. Well done, Adam. Well played.
Thank you. I'd say it's mate work made the actual bulk of the good bit at the end, but I've been messing around with a little bit with what's happening this week before it. Found a bit of software on the Windows and actually it's really good. I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, it's the first time I've ever edited. I work for a video production company, first time I've ever edited, and it's for this.
You're doing well, mate. You're a really good editor. Really good editor. I'm pleased to have you on board.
That's what they're all saying at work as well.
Too right. Getting in the chat right quick. Tessa's in. Hey up, mate. Hope you're well. Andy Rose in Pit or Leeds. 2-1 against Portsmouth. I think it might be a similar scoreline to that. We'll get into that. Smash a like and subscribe. Hey up, Danny. Hope you're well, mate. 1-1 Aronson. Yeah, I think we're conceding this one. Like I say, we'll get into it. Bold. Yeah, it is at the minute. Some links here Danny's put in. Wilco White. Obviously, go check out Sean. Passion for Leeds Callum and Danny as always. Danny Rumsey, go check him out. Evening, gentlemen. Good evening, Matty. How are you, fella? I'm really good, Gavin. Thank you so much for being here. Been a good week, to be fair. Been on a nice new job, which has made me week fly by, to be fair. It's been a good one. Tickle those likes for the lads. Back to winning ways, says Gavin. Nothing but will do other than a win 3-0. There you go. Danny says that was so good. LUFC Priestley, top quality. Yeah, cheers, mate. It really is.
Apparently, it's just what I do. I didn't know until now.
It's just what you do, mate. It's just what you do.
It's what I do, apparently, yeah.
Superman fan, Aronson scored against Portsmouth. Piro Solomon, hope Boban is back soon. Do you think Bamford will make an appearance? Honestly, I said to the missus, Superman fan, before I came on, I wonder how long it'll take before the B word gets mentioned tonight with him apparently being back on the grass, and he's taken all of about 4 minutes. So well played, mate. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not too sure.
He can't be back. He must be building up to it, and also even if he was back 100% fit, does he really get any minutes? But well, we'll see.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know. Richard Hogan, is Sean taking that off? An important part of the season. Yeah, he's had a bit of a tough week, so he's giving tonight a miss. He'll be back next week.
Yeah.
So yeah,
he's back. He's on the grass. He's back at training, but yeah, he's not quite matched up yet.
Yeah, Stephen Orson, brilliant boys. More chance of third post scoring than Aronson.
Yeah, 100%.
Too right. So we're going to start off with a bit of a preview for Portsmouth. Obviously, we've got Portsmouth and we've got Millwall before we next live on Late Night Leeds on next Friday. So we haven't got Statman Sean today, but we've made a new little intro for him. But it's going to have to be Statman Adam today. Statman.
That picture's so funny. He looks so sad.
He's usually happier than that, like, but yeah, it's about that.
It's about the saddest picture I could have him and used it. Made me laugh so much doing it.
It really did, mate. It really did. So yeah, have you got some stats for us, Adam, on the Portsmouth
I have. I've got some facts and some stats. So we'll start off with a fact. Portsmouth for 17th in the table and 8 points off the relegation zone. It does get better than that. What I've actually found out, and what there's actual insight involved in this as well. Their home form is much better than their away form. They're 11th in the league for home form. So considering they're 17th in the table, they're going all right at home.
Yeah,
they've won 8 out of 17, 29 points out of 17 games. So, I mean, at home, 17 games played, 29 points. That's nearly 2 points a game.
Yeah.
That's not bad going, is it?
No,
Daniel Fark will tell you that. Last 5 matches, they've got 9 points, won 3 of them, lost 2. The 2 they've lost have both been away, which again plays into the home form thing.
100%.
And I've got some. I was looking through the different stats and seeing where they sit in the league for different stats. And so bear in mind, all these stats are per 90 or average. And and they're over home and away. So wherever I say a stat, they're going to be a little bit better than that in the home games.
Yeah.
Because they've got to play the away games. The away games are so poor. So average possession, they're 23rd in the league with 43%, which is pretty poor.
Yeah,
accurate passes per match, they're 23rd as well in the league. So they don't do a lot of accurate passes.
No.
XG conceded, they're third, as in badly third.
Yeah.
But big chances created, they're 10th in the league, 67. So, I mean, what can you tell from that? Like, their possession's low and their accurate passes are low. So they're not, I mean, even in 43%, accurate passes per match, that they're kicking it along a lot. They're going direct.
Yeah.
I think the most interesting stat in all of it, possession won in the final third, they're first in the league, number one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they are high pressing, and they're obviously built for that, which could really play into our hands if we go a little bit, like if we can draw them on a little bit and play through it. But they obviously are, they're high pressing a lot, and they're winning the ball a lot. Their discipline's quite bad. They're fifth in the league, like a bad fifth in the league, or fouls per match, and yellow cards are second in the league, bad second. So it's so they're obviously high pressing a lot. They're fouling a lot, and they're all action clearly.
Yeah.
So there's lots to tell in there. But
I mean,
so Matty, back to you in the studio.
Thank you very much. But yeah, I had a Portsmouth fan channel on my show last night, which most of you have seen today. I put out an opposition preview, and they were saying something similar. All action. They just go at you at home at Fratton Park. They just go after every team. Really. It's that sort of high tempo football that they can't quite grasp away from home, but at home they are literally a different animal. Like you said, they've won 8 of the last 11 at home. I mean, the home form were pretty poor early in the season. That's probably why they're 11th. If they'd have had this sort of form they've got now over the course of the season, probably be top 2, top 3 at home. It's a really, really rich range of form. I think 2 draws, a 1 draw, 1 loss, and 8 wins, I think, in the last 10 or something like that. It's really, really good form. Josh Murphy, I think, has got 10 assists. He's a really, really good player.
I had players. I've just closed the laptop. I had players. He's got 9 assists and 6 goals, I think. Yeah. Cracking.
I think, didn't you say he's one of the top performers for his big chances created, I think, with Dan James?
The league, they are in the league, and he's obviously creating a lot of those chances. But there's strikers out, isn't he, as well? Who scored 10 goals.
Yeah, Callum Lang.
I had a name on my laptop.
Callum Lang.
Threw it back.
Callum Lang. He got 2 goals at Ellen Road. He was phenomenal that day. I went at Ellen Road for that 3-3 draw. I mean, I don't think we could read too much into that fixture. First game of the season. It was a free hit for them. We're still getting settled, really, aren't we? You know what I mean? You still haven't really finalised your squads for the season at that point, at first kick-off. So, as entertaining as that was, do we think it'll be as entertaining at Fratton Park? I actually do, I think it'll be
I think it might be.
I think
it might be, but much more so in our favour. I'm not saying 6 goals, but I think they're missing a lot of players, and they're missing both their centre-backs. They're missing backup centre-backs as well, I think. So
they're having a DM play at centre-half at minute, aren't they? Having to play midfielders at centre-half and stuff.
If you miss that many players and try and play that high tempo, high press against us, which we can pick off any team in the league, but if you're missing that many defenders as well and leave you one-on-one with Dan James and Solomon at the back, you're stuffed, didn't you? Like, as you know, it's game over a little bit. So, but when a team's doing that all season, it's hard to change, isn't it? To suddenly think, oh, we're going to sit back against Leeds United. Because the Portsmouth fan on your preview said that they think they might rest a couple of players against us and save them.
The street. Plymouth on the midweek, they've got 2 home games back to back, Leeds and Plymouth. So you get 3 points for a win, regardless of who it's against. But the likelihood is this is the harder of the 2. Obviously, they'll fancy the chance against Plymouth. I actually think Portsmouth are safe. If I'm honest, they are 8 points clear, which I know can get. I know that 8 points don't seem a lot, right? When you're near the top of the league and you've got decent teams chasing you, maybe don't seem enough when we've been 7 points clear to Burnley and stuff. Only takes a draw and the right with your ass again. But I think when you're down at the bottom, you're asking a lot, aren't you, for teams who are playing poor and down the bottom to get 8 points. So I actually think Portsmouth, they're not mathematically safe. I mean, don't get me wrong, if we were down there, we'd probably be looking over the shoulder too. But they were quite nervy, even with an 8-point buffer. So with that in mind, when you're not safe, you've probably got to go for it in every game. But it's crazy. I think they actually think they'll rest players for Leeds United based on the game.
Yeah.
Mad when you look at it, but yeah.
I think they're missing so many players though. Like as I say, if they play their way, I mean, they're going to struggle. Even if they try and sit back and invite pressure on, which they won't do because they can't do it. they're going to struggle. They're going to struggle. You can't miss all your centre backs. That's all. They're not, like all Championship teams are struggling. Not Premier League, not got that sort of depth. Obviously, the clubs can't afford it. They can't afford to have that much depth in the Championship players. So they're gonna. We are strong favourites. I haven't looked at the odds to this fair, but we'll be strong favourites. I mean, 2-0. 2-0 feels. Oh God, I shouldn't say. Feels a bit like a minimum, and I think Danny's right.
You think? Yeah, I think Gruev starts in this one, 100%, and it's always a good option having Rothwell to come off if it's not quite working. Everything we know about Portsmouth at home, injuries or not, they're going to go for it. I do think Gruev's the right choice in this game. We've seen away from home against Watford, he played him and still scored 4. It's, it depends on his performance. If he plays with the right attitude, Gruev, and he's in the game. The last couple of performances have been a bit lacklustre, but if he's on it, it can certainly be a decent cog in the engine going forward as well as just a defensive work. So I don't think it's a negative thing. I think it's a right move in this one, buddy.
It has to be. I mean, the thing is, if Portsmouth play fairly direct, there's going to be a lot of second balls and so the second balls, they're going to have runners. So you've got to track your runners. Watching the West Brom game, Rothwell and Snacker both weren't tracking their runners very well. There's a chance for Swift on the edge of the box quite early on. Swift was by Tanaka for a long time of it, and then they're about 3, 4, 5 yards apart, and Bogle had to come over, and something. He had a lot of space, and that's where Tanaka's brilliant in his I forgot the word. He's brilliant in whatever. He's brilliant at lots of things. Tracking his runners, he's not so good, and that's where Gruev is very good, and those second balls spotting that danger.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate, 100%. Do you think there's any shocks to our lineup this weekend? Looking at the Aronson position, do you think he'll do anything there? No,
I don't think so. I think I'd say, as we discussed on Sunday, there's a bit of a shift in Aronson starting to come off a little bit more, and there's a tiny bit of pressure building up upon him. But at the same time, it's fine to say, he's got this many goals. He's a cog in a machine, isn't he? He's a system player. And he plays that role really, really well. It's not really, oddly, and I said it's such a weird thing to say, our 10 is not picked to assist or score.
No, it's not.
So when we don't assist or score, it's on the wingers and the fullbacks, oddly, and the striker. They are they're the 5 players out of 6 that are forward. Aronson doesn't really, he doesn't get a lot of chances. I'm saying that's the issue lately. He's not really getting in the positions in even linking the play that well. He doesn't feel like. But we've had 2 hard games, Sunderland, Sheffield United, and West Brom were very good as well. So I think we'll see an uptick in performance just by the level of the opponent, I think. Because suddenly he's a bit of a better player on that pitch compared to the opposition, isn't he? So, and the same with Solomon. He's dropped off last few games, but nothing terrible. And he does, obviously saying that's fine, but it doesn't really mean anything. Solomon's been so good this season. He deserves his start still. He'd have to have a real bad run to, for anyone else to even get looking, because no one else. And the other thing, of course, no one else is pushing it, are they? Joe, no. I know he's mentioned Joseph today, and he's doing okay. He did quite well coming on the other day, but he just does the Aronson job really. The sort of mental running around, running into people, and just like ball bouncing off him a little bit. So I don't see any. I think Gruev comes in, like Danny said, and that's probably about it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the Aronson thing will rumble on to the end of the season. I think it is what it is, but I think what you'll see now is you've seen a change in Farker, haven't you, where he's using him now as a sub late, and bringing him off as a sub late on a game, and I think that suits us. I think it gives the opportunity to get Joseph on the pitch without taking Pido off now. It really does it. You can see Pido is excelling in that 10 or that false 9, however you want to look. Some people say it's 4-4-2 at times, which is fine too, but he's excelling in that role as Pido. He's definitely a 90-minute player now. He can be out of the game for 89 minutes, 90 minutes, but he can pop up with a goal in the injury time. So I think that suits us now. Now he's been reluctant to take Aronson off for most of the season, and keeping his legs fresh, I think it's going to help, especially just even if he's playing 60, 70 minutes a game. I think you don't have to flog him for 90 no more. You're seeing Pirro can play that role now, which does, I mean, Danny's put here, maybe with Bamford back, Farker might play Pirro in the 10, Joseph up top and having Bamford back. I get what you're saying. If Bamford was a capable striker, he can be the bench option to come on. I mean, I just don't know. I mean, how fit is he going to be when he comes back? How many games will be left when he's ready to kick a ball? And how many games can he get through without picking up another knock? It's a difficult one, isn't it? I'd love nothing more than him to come back and prove me wrong, but there
is logic there, because Farker does use his 10 really as a second striker anyway. I mean, Aronson's not really played that role, but that's what he's done. Over in other clubs and over history, Ruter and Perot were like 2 strikers almost at times. When Perot plays that 10 role, he does play as a second striker. That's just how he does it. So he's done it a lot. So there is some logic in, Perot is an option. And by the way, Perot has been so good. Like last few games, suddenly his touch is very good. And he looks like a really good link player. He's starting to come better, getting better and better at that. So you can see the option. I know you said, "Oh, I can see it towards the end." I can see him starting that 10. I can see like it's such a simple game. I do love the old people do it when they're defending. They do 4-4-2, press, blah blah blah. But actually in possession, having that the one up front and then the other guy very close to him, it gives you options to play a different way. You can go a little bit more direct more often. The striker's not really isolated. Pro can be just backing out the play. So yeah, I can see it as an option. Again, with a Fark, I mean, Bamford coming back. We had Bamford this season. He wasn't looking at Joseph then. Joseph's not really shown enough either, particularly, to be honest. I mean, he looks like he's playing roller skates sometimes, what he does. Like, it's just a bit Bambi on ice, isn't it? Bambi on ice, that's a saying? That's really far. Okay, yeah. That's quite bad now.
For the promise that Joseph showed for the first month at season and all pre-season, he's going to go out with a bit of a whimper this season, I think, and probably end up in a position where we don't actually know where his future lies going forward, especially as a Premier League club, I would imagine. We had a discussion today, didn't we? This is going off topic. I think, we'll probably touch on it later, but Harry Gray's probably, in a position where, regardless of what division we're in next season, I think you're gonna. You said today, though, to be fair, they might even look at, if say we safe with a few games to spare, as in that top two guaranteed, maybe he'll get some minutes off a bench towards end of season. It'd be really interesting to see how it goes because, you've got Mateo Joseph, who's a young lad there, but you've also got Harry Gray, who at some point we're going to have to give minutes because there will be some huge clubs in for him if we're not careful. We've seen it before with these youngsters that go, don't they? You know what I mean? It's so hard to turn down your cities and these other sides.
Yeah, and he has stuck with it. His mate Finley Gorman, he went to Man City. But Harry Gray, I think so. He was in pre-season, didn't he? Played a friendly or two.
Yeah.
And then he had the growth pains wherever he had, and they had to rest him for a few months. But I mean, everything you read, I don't know if you read Baron Cross's. I know you said I'll send you bits and pieces. Baron Cross's thing in the article in Athletic, and when they said they say to Archie Gray, "Oh, you Harry's brother." He didn't say, "Are you Archie?" They say, "Are you Harry's brother?" And Archie was the older one, and that is
it's mad. It's mad,
absurd because Harry was scoring 10 goals every game, and then the things Aaron Lennon said about him and all his old coaches, the praise. And the thing was they had to give him more. They couldn't just stick him in his age group and let him play really well or show better, whatever. They wanted to always push him into older age groups and push him because he wanted to challenge himself all the time, and he's got that ambition to do that. So absolutely training with the first team. If he's as good as people say he is, which everyone's. I was speaking to a Spurs fan the other day, and they come up to me and talked about how Archie going, we got Harry's better, isn't he? How do you know that? It's got around already.
It has. It really has. The fact he can play, 10 as well to a really high level. It's you said when he eventually breaks into that side, that senior side, you think you might play him at 10 or play him out wide just to ease him into men's football because it's mad in it. He's probably going to find I'm totally off topic here with Portsmouth, but this is what we do. But he's probably going to find he's being the elite player at every age group coming through. Then all of a sudden you're playing with men, and it's a totally different ball game in it. So that physicality will be difficult for him. But it looks everything I've seen. I've been watching a lot of under 21s clips and bits and pieces you do, and he looks a very capable player. And I don't think even at his age, what is he, 16, 17? I don't think you're going to be waiting. 16. I don't think you're going to be waiting 3 seasons to see him. He's going to force his way in there early. He's going to test our hand early.
Yeah, I think, as I said earlier, I think asking a 16-year-old is not physically developed unless they're Wayne Rooney to play up front with back to goal. I know Wayne Rooney didn't play back to goal. He played more that sort of second striker role. But asking someone that age to come, you don't see it, do you? You don't see you very, very rarely see a 16-year-old, 17-year-old coming through and playing up front. But yeah, no, of course, I agree with that. But I think I agree with that. But I think actually we've got to keep challenging him though. I think there could be a Tyler Dibbling element to it. Tyler Dibbling didn't play in the Championship at all. Went to Premiership and he's starting every game because suddenly he physically developed. So he's got. I think it's really physically demanding to play 9 and going from junior cricket to men's cricket. It's the hardest position to do it in. Because you're backing into guys and strong guys that are, fully developed, obviously, that you can't, you're not going to win that physical battle. But if you can start with 10 or wide left, you give him a better chance. And I think we might see that. Don't know when, it's just very exciting.
Duncan's made a good point here. He hasn't looked out of place in the 21s. He could play for another 5 years in that age group. When you look at it, he's playing with people there 5 years older than him, and he don't look out of place. He looks like an established under 21s player, which is mental. He's 5 years younger than them.
I think he looks like I think it's better than that. I think he looks like the main man.
Yeah, no, he does. You're right.
It's not just fitting in and being okay. He looks like the main man, and that's why it's only him and Chambers that are training with the first team. Debye does as well, I know, but Debye's not really got looking yet. I like him as well, by the way. I think he'd be a good player, but
yeah, I think he will as well.
Yeah, Gray is the one. And Harry Gray has been the one for a long time. Time.
Yeah, he has been 100%. These comments here. What's this one? Andy Rowe. Matty, are you still willing to follow Joseph over the cliff face? Jeez Louise, Matty, you still pick Roy of the Rovers if he was available. Something like that, buddy. Something like that. Danny's banked some links in chat again. Go check out Danny Rumsey, Passion for Leeds, Callum, and also Wilco White's good lad. Going to bank. So I'm starting a few comments. We're going to come back to at the end. So if I'm not reading some of them out and the good stuff, they are getting starred. So. Obviously, the Portsmouth game, that's one thing. I think we'll win that. You think we'll win that. We're getting those predictions. But do you want to touch on
let's do that. Let's start the Millwall game. I started looking at the stats of Millwall. It's so boring. They're so drab. Like, I just couldn't.
I mean, let's look at it as a double header. We won't go into too much into Millwall, but I expect 6 points in these two games.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's massive. There's so few games left now. Just keep ticking them off, because I think they'll slip up. Sheffield United or Burnley will slip up. Sheffield United got a few injuries as well at the moment, which is massive. But so I think Millwall should be. I mean, Millwall 12th in the league, 7 points off the playoffs, but their pass completion, I think they're 23rd in the league, or pass completed per 90. So they'll obviously, they're getting quite a direct side. They beat us, but. And they said a bit disappointing thing with the FA Cup. They beat us by outplaying us at football, which is bizarre. Which is a bizarre situation. They won't just kick it along to the centre back. So I think it should be 6 points, of course. Yeah,
I think so. Paul makes a good point here, mate. It's a scary 6 days coming up with 3 games where you could end up first, second, or even third. Let's hope the boys do the job and keep us winning. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you look at this away at Portsmouth on Sunday. It's probably, I don't know, you could say for every game coming up now, but it's the biggest game of the season for me now. You look at it and go, if Sheffield United win, if Burnley win, you've got Burnley 2 points behind us, and Sheffield United joint points with us. It's going into that game, regardless, whether we win or not, before that game kicks off, that's where we could be. Nervous times if that's the case. Obviously, we're hoping one of those sides does us a favour and they slip up. But to go into a game playing last out of those round of fixtures, we've arguably got the worst fixture. Even Sunderland, they've all got home fixtures this weekend. We're the only away side. So it's a very, very difficult round of fixtures, this. Can we come out of it still with the same gap? Yeah. I think we get 3 points, but it's a very tough game, is this one. And then you go on to Millwall, who we've struggled with. Then you've got QPR, who we've struggled with last season. So on paper, it looks very favourable in terms of league positions of the side we're playing. The Leeds tag, these scars I've had for over years, is bothering a lot of people. And it doesn't look like an easy cluster of fixtures. This, for me, as easy it looks in the table and on paper, it doesn't feel like a really easy fixture. This one away at Portsmouth and Millwall at home. I think we get 9 points. I do. I would snap your hand off for 7 now, and you know me, I don't shake on anything other than perfection. But I would take 7 points out of these next 3. Which, if we can get 7 points out of each cluster of 3 games from now to end of the season, we'll go up with close to 100 points, which will do us. But are you confident of 9 points in these next 3 games?
Yeah, I'm really confident. I think the West Brom blip was such a blip, and West Brom are a good side. Like, we're going to Portsmouth, who aren't a great side. Like, and they've got so many. I say they're decent home, no doubt about it, Callum. But it's like, the thing is, like, it's so weird. Everyone looks at their own club and worries about stuff. Then Sheffield United will think we're going to get 9 points. They'll look at Leeds United, I think 9 points. All their fans will look at 9 points next 3 games. Burnley will be thinking exactly the same. Just praying for us to. I don't care. I don't personally care. They're playing before us. Couldn't care less. No. Get a straw next time.
Inside job. Whenever Adam buys Callum a drink, Callum drops it.
I couldn't care less. I don't think there's any more pressure. I think it's good pressure in a way. Just focus your minds. Like, this is there's so much overriding pressure on this.
Yeah, there is.
Them playing, being close on points. I don't think the percentage it adds is so minimal. I think that it makes no difference. I think the players have got to be so switched on all the time, training, team meetings, all that tactical, whatever it may be. That actually, I think I say they're so switched on. I don't think they'll care if Sheffield United are 2 points behind us or whatever it is. Makes no odds. It's all in our hands. So you've got to be switched on as an overall picture.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. I agree, buddy. Shall we touch on the table, even though it's the same as last week? Shall I bring that up just so you can get...
Yeah, it's the same as last week, you
So
say.
we do want people to get score predictions for both games, don't we, in this chat? So we could do it in the chat. Please put down the game. Otherwise, we're going to get confused. So please, obviously put in Portsmouth with your correct score and 1 goal scorer, and then please just put on another comment Millwall with the same. Otherwise, we're going to get mixed up, and it's already hard enough. Adam does enough as it is without designing up bits. So
this is the really hard one.
Here's the tip. This is where Adam can take over and explain to anybody who doesn't know. I know most of you in the chat do know, but if you don't, Adam, take it away.
Yeah, we've got plenty of people playing. So as I say, most of you know, but if there's anyone new here, we do a predictor every week. You get fed back into the table, so you get 3 points for a correct score, 1 point for a correct result, and 1 point for a correct goal scorer. So you can pick up 5 points per game. If you play every week, you will climb the table. Like, that's why Sean Wilco White, our other usual host, is top of the league because he plays every week. Although he might not this week. He might be giving everyone a chance. I don't know. He's not here. So, but yeah, there's obviously 2 games this week as well. So you are watching. There's a chance you get one of the results right, or both results right and get a correct score and a goal score. You'll climb the table. So, and then at the end of the season, first place gets the Burley Banksy, which I think I'm probably pointing out there in my blue room, which is there, which will be sent to the winner. So it's well worth playing. Danny is 5th. Yes.
Doing well, Danny, lad. Doing well. 2-0. Who's your goal scorer, Callum? Let's
see Callum straight away. That's no good to anyone.
Let's get your goal scorer in, mate. This is it. Look at Diggler. There you go. That's what I want to see.
Diggler's got it. Yeah.
Same with you, Paul. Yeah. You need a goal scorer, my mate. But yeah.
So the thing is, you don't put a goal scorer. Obviously, you don't have the opportunity to get that point, and he's just put the extra goal scorer.
Paul, come on, mate. He's done it again. But yeah, you are, Sean. You are sneaking up the table off those Champions League spots, mate.
He is, yeah, absolutely. It's funny. I pick Sean and Daddy. I always look where they are just because they chat all the time. But yeah, I was saying that I don't know where Sean is right now. I can't even see him. But because we did it I did it on Saturday or Sunday evening, whenever it was. Yeah, I don't know where. Anyway, he knows where he is.
He's climbing. He's obviously climbing.
He's climbing. I've heard he's climbing. He's a young up and comer.
He's improved, but yeah. So keep the scores coming in, please, and the goal scorer for both games. Buzzing. Bring that down now. So we've added a bit of a new segment this week. It's not crazy. One of the 3 of us usually is going to pick a bit of a question that we think we're going to put out to chat. This is a really basic question, so this is question of the week. I think it's I've seen a few takes, a few videos of creators this week, and I think it's a really good point. It's simply, will Leeds United get promoted? So I know we've sort of touched on the cluster of games and how well we're doing, but I really want to delve into it. I mean, when you look at that table, we were speaking on voice note for a week on it. You know, do we? A lot of us are confident that we're going to go up. There's some people obviously who still have that Leeds tag and the worry and mental scars from past games and past years. I get that, but when you just look at every single metric of data, this is where you've got to put the goals from the past to the back of your head. I know it's hard, but this is a different group to 10 years ago, 20 years ago. This is a different mentality to even last year. Everyone's adapted. The manager's adapted. We've got better players. We didn't have Tanaka, last season. If we'd have had Tanaka and Rothwell, maybe that would have been enough last season. There's loads of different permutations. It's not the same side as last year. It's definitely not the same season of years gone by. And every single metric of data is saying Leeds are the best side. So when you look at that, that's where I get my confidence from. What is mind-boggling is that we're similar to last season in terms of there's probably 3 sides getting above 90 points this season, which apparently was an anomaly last season. Doesn't look like it was. It looks like it's going to happen again this season. And it's crazy, isn't it, Adam, that we've on a 17-game unbeaten run, which most of these are wins as well. It's not like 8 draws. Most of these are wins. And you turn round and by Sunday kickoff, we joint points with Sheffield United, who have actually won 2 more points than us at that point. I know it doesn't matter, they cheated, whatever, fair enough. And I know it pisses off that Wilder keeps bringing it up. But, that's crazy. So you've got them doing that. And then you've got Burnley on a run where they haven't been beat since October. So each section of each fan base really will be stood there going, Burnley, how are we third? I know we're playing boring football, but how are we? We haven't lost for 30 game. How are we third? Sheffield United, how are we second? We're unbelievable. Yeah. Unbelievable how well we're playing. And Leeds United come Sunday, how the chuff are we joint top? It's crazy when you look at it. So as confident as I am, it's still very, very tight. So I think it's a great topic just bring up. Just plainly, do we think they'll go up? And how are you feeling, Adam, when you think of all those sort of data metrics and where we actually are?
If you look back to last season, there's 4 teams. This time there's 3 teams going for it or fighting out.
Russ. Yeah,
there's Russ. Hello, mate. 3 teams fighting out. Why couldn't it just been 2 teams? Why couldn't Burnley done what Luton did and just go away? Like, you come down and go, oh, we're not very good, actually. We're going to piss off down the league table. You know, we could just, why has it got to be, why? Just, why can it be 2 teams? Because it's a low level. I don't think the league, the thing is, I think the state of the league plays into this a lot. I think after Luton somehow dropped like a stone. There's lots of average championship teams. If you look back the last 5, 6, 7 years, there's lots of very, very average championship teams, really average. The level of the football, you can't pick a lot of players out of a lot of teams. So if you are half decent, you're going to win a lot of games. And that's what Burnley are doing. That's what Sheffield United are doing. That's obviously what we're doing. There's no doubt we are the best team in this league. Like, everyone will tell you that. Everyone. Yep. The only ones that doubt it is when we all go, oh no, we drew. Oh, maybe we're not very good. Oh, we played our reserves against Millwall. Maybe we're not very good. It's like, no, calm down. Like, there's reasons. You know, when you're trying to form an opinion, you take all the information in and then you form that opinion. And there's been nothing to me, as you say, all the stats point to us being the best team in the league. I'm going to try and explain. So I was looking at the stats of Portsmouth, and what Football have got is an XG league. Yeah. XG for, XG against, and then expected points, right? So it also so obviously they take it by the game, and if you have more XG in that game, they take that as the points for the game. Win the game. Yeah. We are 20 points clear in that table. 20 points clear.
Wow.
Sheffield United and Burnley are massively overachieving. Wow. And I thought that's really interesting. Let's look at the Premier League. The Premier League, I'm not surprised, there's not a lot of anomalies in there. Everyone's like a few points there. So Leeds are underperforming by 1 point, I think, at the moment. Burnley are overperformed like 11 points. I had it somewhere. I'll put it on Instagram. I'll put it up in the story because it's really interesting. Because I thought, okay, let's check it. Check it in the Premier League. Actually, everyone's about where they should be. So this is a really weird league. And Burnley, Sheffield United, by the way, they dropped down the league once. When you go to an XG expected points, they dropped down the league. They're like 4th and 5th. They're really not very good overall. That metrics are not great. I know Burnley don't because they should. By the way, our XG against is better than Burnley's. We just concede lots more goals. Someone said the other day, and it's not. I don't want to go on about this again. If it were for Millwall, we'd have another sort of 4, 6, 5 points, whatever. I know he saved a couple recently, but keepers are allowed to save shots. Like Millwall saved us the game. Oh well, like thanks, mate. And, like save the other ones as well. Our actually against is the lowest in the league, and our goals against isn't. So we score a lot of goals. Every metric, everything, everyone looking at us from the outside that aren't Leeds fans, they know we're going up. They know we're going up. The Second Tier podcast made a video the other day about when we go up. Actually saying, like, it wasn't even when we go up. There was talking as if when we go up, how it's going to work in the Premier League because we're already pretty much there. They're already making it. People are already making those videos now. This Leedsy thing, like Spursy thing, it's really boring. It's really defeatist. It's like, well, Dr. Tottenham, shut up. Like, get back to the team and go and try and win the game. Like, what fun is that? We can all be pessimists, realists, optimists, whatever. But actually, just look at the metrics, form your opinion on that, and we are bloody good.
Yeah, that's it, mate. It's people are always going to have these worries out there and stuff, and I suppose you're not human if you don't worry about stuff you care about, and we all care about Leeds United, so it's there, innit? But like I say, when you look at it, there's not one single piece of data that worries me in any aspect. There was early in the season, the away form were a massive one. Just a basic away form stat of, we just couldn't win. Plenty of draws. There were a period of time where we couldn't. That third game in a week, we lost that or dropped points in that game. There were a few mid-season. Don't get me wrong, but in this 17-game run we put together, those metrics have just peaked and spiked, and everything just looks so clear. I mean, how many teams can lose the captain, an influential player in Ampadu, and has not really be fazed by it, if we're honest?
Yeah.
Haven't really fazed us. A lot of Leeds fans would have him on bench if they could anyway. Even in his best, a lot of our fans wouldn't put Ampadu in the best 11. Like, what's that tell you about the depth, about everything that, even losing your captain, which is massive, and leadership quality, it might still be massive. It might still, if he's out for season, it might hamper us. We don't know yet. We haven't got a crystal ball, but what a position we actually are in. And I think you're seeing now the way we're adapting in games away far, because tweaking little stuff. When we do need a goal, he's not going gun ho and just throwing every attacker on the pitch.
Yeah,
you're seeing the adaptability of Farker. You're seeing a coming of age of him for me, and he's doing some really good stuff at minutes, Farker. I feel like the boys, the manager, the fans. I feel like the club at the minute's got a bit of an aura around them. I don't like to, compare it to the Bielsa era, but I'm getting giddy. I'm feeling those sort of feelings again. Like, I love all the boys. I love the manager. Not to that level, maybe not, no, but we are 11 games away from potentially getting somewhere close. I ain't going to lie.
Yeah.
But I just don't. Go on, mate.
Sorry, mate. When you asked that question earlier, the other day, whenever it was, the first thing I think of is start thinking about the Premier League, the summer transfer window. Are we going to go up? I just jump ahead of it because I'm so confident of us going up.
Yeah.
Like, I say, like, we're beyond this league, like, talent wise. Like, you can see us. Second tier game was really interesting the other day. It's only like a 12-minute video, well worth watching. But talking about the players we have that are Prem ready, talk about, like, waxing lyrical about Tanaka, Ampadu. That's a ready-made Premier League midfield. And by the way, the whole thing of Ampadu doesn't get our first 11 to me is still crazy. Like, he's the first name on the team sheet. And that's as a player, and never underestimate him as a captain. Like, he has got so much better as a captain. Yes. And there's been a lot of evolved players this year. Like Perot's much better, and Ampadu I think is better. Tanaka's obviously class for us new. But ultimately as well, I think Fark's evolved. I think he's a better coach than he was last year. I think he's better coach than he was. He's some of the stubborn elements, like bringing on 6 attackers and Joel Perot dropping into centre midfield to get the ball, and we still try and play through the team when you've got Bamford and Josie just standing up there. Just some ridiculous things went on, and I think he's learned a lot from that. And I think it doesn't really work. It never has worked. No one else does that. That's not a thing in football. Just throwing loads of attack. Wenger used to do it. He's bring on a centre back for a forward or a forward for a centre back. He used to do it, but that was the old days. Like, so it just doesn't work in football. You got to hold your nerve, hold your tactics, and every coach has plan A, and lots of them have plan A, and that's it. And and that's what's trained and drilled into the guys. So I say you can have tweaks to that, but you can't have the tweaks to the layman. They shouldn't be visible, basically. Like, I can't spot these tweaks that I don't know. But it's when he brings on 6 attackers. If we can spot it so easy, then it's not very good tactics. Basically, it's too simple. So yeah, Fark's evolved massively from there. Massively. Still late subs occasionally. So the fun one, the second tier podcast, the other one, I keep talking about them now, was we'll say Fark's got the worst points per game record of any manager in Premier League history that's managed 35 games.
Really?
Yeah.
They love throwing those metrics out for him, don't they? Because it just further cements that whole narrative that he's crap in the Premier League. But there's a lot of context to be applied to that.
Oh, it's huge.
Which I'm hoping Leeds will back into the hilt, and then, if he's going to get slated for his time in the Premier League, it's based on, he's actually had a good crack at it. And then if he fails, then fair enough. But at the minute, I still don't think it's a fair conversation. And maybe in a few weeks or months, mate, we'll be talking about this as question of the week, because hopefully we'll be promoted and then we can start talking on Farker in Prem. I just feel like at the minute it's a bit premature, don't you?
The thing was in the Premier League for him, I think when we bought Ampadu, the first player he bought at Leeds, I believe, that was his English transfer record. And he'd been in the Premier League twice. And it was like 7 odd million. So, like, that tells you everything. You can't do that. Look at every club that goes up now. You just can't do that. You could never do that. It always works that way. If you don't buy players, then you're going to drop off. But
White Snake Bite said earlier that we have played with that Ampadu before, and to be fair, it was an upturning performance. When him and Gruev went out, we were all nervous that week. I think it was Sunderland and it was Burnley and Norwich. I think they both got injured in them games. We were panicking. Rafael and Taka came in and did unbelievable stuff. So yeah, it definitely didn't hamper us too much. But like you said there, Richard, the away form only picked up after Christmas, and that was when Ampadu returned. Yeah. That was the only. As football were better, it was more exciting. We enjoyed the football we were seeing with Tanaka and Rothwell, and we still do. That is a great partnership, and I love that. Even though I do think Ampadu has to play, but I do love that midfield. But away from home, it's 100%. A massive part of that is Ampadu coming back, and without picking up that away form, I don't think we'd be sat at the top of the league right now, if I'm honest. Not when you look at how consistent Burnley and Sheffield United have been for the last 3 months. I think after Christmas, Sean, Adam, if we'd have still been like that away from home, I don't think we'd have been where we are now. So he has been vital to maintaining and pushing beyond what we were.
It's all that work that we don't, all that stuff we take for granted. The covering of spaces, second balls, tracking runners. Hang on, what?
I know I'll put you off. Go on, keep going.
It's I say the second balls, covering space, all that stuff that Gruev does, the dirty work that you don't really see because he just does it. And Tanaka and Rothwell are slightly off the beat with it. Rothwell in particular, Tanaka does it slightly better, but he's slightly off the same beat, the same mindset that Gruev has and Ampadu has in particular. And that's where, like last week against West Brom, I think there's slightly more space. They didn't play direct time, but they attacked quickly. And I think a Gruev in there would have been better for us, definitely. We would have better, even though it was, we've got to win the home game. I say, like, it's fine in hindsight. I wouldn't have changed the team before it. Rothwell in, great, win the game, attack him, blah, blah, blah. But actually, I think Gruev would have made a difference.
Yeah, 100%. It's honestly, I get slated quite a bit, mate. I really do, by even friends at work and stuff like that for being just. I get called a happy clapper all the time. Not too much on here, to be fair. I thought I'd get slated on having a YouTube channel for just being the most confident fan ever. And it sometimes get called arrogance. I've had it with Millwall a lot, and I am dreading that fixture on Wednesday. I am dreading any content in the lead up, any content. I say any content, post match. If we win, you're gonna see me swinging from the rafters. I'm gonna be going nuts. I've got from the FA Cup. Obviously, every comment and stuff I get on YouTube, I do go back and either heart them or like them or comment back. That vlog I did with my son for that FA Cup game, I've left all the comments still all sat there, and I am waiting for this game, and I'm nervous as hell for this Millwall game, but I am waiting and praying that I can just go back in that chat and be like, hey up, mate, hey up. One of them
how many comments were there from Millwall fans?
Over the course of both fixtures, I'd say more than the Leeds fans over the whole YouTube journey.
Well, like what?
Now,
15,
no. I mean, that first league result, I think I got 50 odd comments on from Millwall.
And that's all of them. That's all the Millwall fans.
Yeah,
that's literally all of them.
It was. Yeah, that's all. That's all. I mean, that's every single fan.
That's every single one of them got out of the way. Yeah, absolutely.
It was mental, and then same, and then a lot of them came back for FA Cup one. So I know full well if we drop points in this one, it's going to be absolute carnage. So yeah, I mean, Danny and Sean are putting in chat. It's going to be a Matty meltdown again. But I keep me head because we win most games. Wait till we're in Premier when we're struggling. I'm going to just be an absolute nightmare. I'm going to have to close my channel down. It's going to be late night Leeds. It's going to be lunatic Leeds. It's going to do my tips in because I just can't cope with
certain fan bases. 2 a.m. in the morning, Matty's dressing down.
It'll be awful, mate. Honestly, it's just going to be awful. I'm crying all the time out at the computer. But no, I am a proper confident fan, and like I say, when you look at everything, mate, we've got every reason to be confident, haven't we? And some people like to keep a lid on it and be quietly confident. You've got a YouTube channel. I hear talk about Leeds, 3 or 4 nights a week, sometimes 5 or 6 nights a week. I might as well just stick my neck out online and just say how I feel, and I feel 100%. Super confident, and I just don't see any. I don't even see us dropping out a second. This Sunday is massive though for me. We haven't had pressure like this in a while now, Adam. Playing second. Do you think it'll hamper us playing second, or do you quite like?
I really don't. I think there's so
matters?
Much pressure built up around the whole thing. These lads are training every day. They're discussing the whole thing. I think there's so much pressure built up about getting back to the Premiership. It's really nitty gritty. It's time you got to win every game now. Do we think that if one of them drops points, there'll be less pressure on the lads in that game? Like, I just don't. If they're the same as they win points, I don't think it makes any difference because I think it might add 1% because I think the pressure's so. The scope and the pressure is so massive. Yeah. To get back to the Premier League we're Leeds United. We belong in the Premier League. We do belong in the Premier League. We are massive. Like these lads can do it. They go down in history. They do it. You're the players who got us up. Brilliant. Win the league again. Amazing.
Yeah, I don't even see anything at the minute. I don't know what worries me in terms of. You look at the West Brom game and think, "Ooh, is there some crack starting that form?" I think people are just looking sometimes where there's nowhere to look. It's 7 points in those 3 games, have a possible 9 against second, 4th, and 5th. They're a really good side of West Brom, really good side. I mean, they've only lost 7 games. I think haven't Sheffield United lost 5 or 6 as well, so it's not. Yep. It's a really good side, to be fair, at this level.
They are really good side.
So
well
I think that's put the. I mean, you think we 1-1 draw against 5th place, and you've got certain people thinking Leeds are falling apart again. They were singing it. It's crazy. It's crazy. They try to rattle us for me, where I think we look fairly unrattled this season. I don't think we'll win every game, but I don't think we'll lose either. But you can't win every game, and I think we'll be fine, mate.
You know about that game? We had lots of chance to win it. And that game in particular is the game we've all seen Leeds United lose nearly every time in the past. The away team Knicks won 70 minutes, 80 minutes, whatever it may be. So, like, actually, the draw, like, because I was watching thinking, this is really dodgy. Like, we're having chances and stuff. It didn't feel like there was anything clear cut. A cross comes in. But I watched Furlong's header back. He put his head down, hit him on top of the head and just goes over. He didn't even head it properly. Like, so annoying. No. It's a really good header, but he just went like that. Bonk. Like Melly had no chance with that. But let's say they were a really well organised side. And I should have looked. I don't know if they've got to play Sheffield. They've got to play Sheffield United or Burnley for the rest of the season. Same with Norwich on a decent run of form. And there's a few clubs that can give them two problems. And by the way, and I think it's massive, Norwich and Sheffield United, at least one of them's playing for 2 less points this season because they've got to play each other.
Yeah, they have.
So at least one of them's playing 2 less points than we're playing for, and maybe 3. So, or they both might be playing for 2 less points because they might draw, if you know what I mean. So they've got, one of them's definitely dropping points somewhere. And when you've got that, keep that gap going till, for now, you're laughing.
No, 100%.
I mean, and the underlying metrics as well just suggest we will keep going. And last season, I think, was a complete anomaly. We've got more players to rest. I think this week could be interesting because I think there is an overall resting pattern now that needs to sort of look into that. Solomon, Aronson on Saturday, if they look any way tired, take them out on Wednesday, Wednesday, isn't it? Yeah, take them out. Give them a rest, because I think the miles and legs are starting to add up. It's not game by game, rest them on Wednesday, back on Saturday. I think they're starting to add up for a season. Same as we had last season. And I think Fark's better now. He's got better options. He needs to utilise that. Because if someone starts, they're playing 70 minutes, and we know that much. They're not playing 50, they're not playing 60. They are getting 70 minutes in the legs every single time. So if we do start resting players, rest them.
100%, mate. Yeah, 100%. Michael, well, yeah, they have got a really good recent record, mate. 8 wins in 11. Only lost one of those 11 too. Really good. It'll be a very difficult game. Richard Hogan, I don't know if I said this by mistake, but he'd love to get 12 points for the next 3 games. Won't we all, mate? Won't we all? We would love to get 12 points for the next 3 games. Yeah, that'd be sick, that, wouldn't it? Right then, so we are going to look at last week's poll winner. Before we look at, I'm just checking in. Oh, I think Beckford's winning that one. That's no surprise there. But yeah, so last week's poll winner, for anyone who wasn't here last week, we do a poll every week. In the chat now, you've got Gradle, Beckio, Beckford, and Snodgrass. So please get your votes. And if you haven't already, like I say, it looks like Beckford's winning. Each week, we pick a Leeds legend or put some a cluster of players down from a certain area and get you to pick your favourite. Last week's winner was Nigel Martyn. We did a goalkeeper one, and Adam's proud little piece here, so please sit back, enjoy this concoction of Nigel Martyn. Love this concoction of Nigel Martyn. Here we go. Absolutely love this goalkeeper.
Oh, what a goalkeeper! I remember him breaking into the England side. He played like a tournament for England as well, didn't he? When he was with us, and he was
second. He was second choice in.
He was second choice for Seaman for a long time, and then Seaman dropped to one side at some stage. Maybe was injured or whatever it was. Some of the saves in here, because he's quite a chunky guy. His athleticism and stuff. Got involved. He had personality. He's He's the best keeper since I've scored Leeds. I've seen Leeds comfortably as well.
No one's come close.
Nowhere near.
I mean, I just want to touch as well. Look how nice all the goalkeeper jerseys are from this area of Leeds United. Like, seriously, I mean, I remember kids wearing that with Martin on back. You don't see. I know it's Melier now. You don't see kids wearing goalkeeper tops with the net. You don't. I mean, look how nice that one is. The jerseys back then were just mint. But
the yellow shirt there as well, though. By the way,
so nice.
The whole kit there is beautiful.
So beautiful. Nice. He's honestly just such a good goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Some of these saves are just. Some of these, his highlight reel, as you can see, is just for having a look at the saving Gary Speed shot there.
Gary Speed as well.
Go on, Gary Speed, lad.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Man.
I love that. Look at that side.
I know.
Look at that side.
The players there. Champions League night, UEFA Cup nights.
Look at that. Ferdinand as captain. Young Ferdinand. Mental.
Look at his save. Andy Gray says in the commentary that he said David Seaman's clapping the other end as Nigel Martyn made this save. So I don't know if Petit's clapping there. I don't know if he's clapping Martyn as well. But it's such a good save.
Look at that. Onto the post. Come on. What a save. Some of these players he were playing against, mate, just insanely good.
Michael Dubry's crept in there. England's number one.
Absolutely love that. Absolutely love that, mate. Well played. Absolutely love that. I'm just get this back. Absolute, honestly, class goalkeeper. I said last week, didn't we? Obviously, as his time come to an end, we had Paul Robinson, who was a decent keeper too. But yeah, just a few stats from Nigel Martyn. So we signed him from Crystal Palace, but before Palace, he was at Bristol Rovers. And someone in the chat might know this. I didn't until I did a bit of research. He was the first British goalkeeper to be signed for £1 million or more, which is crazy when you think it were Bristol Rovers that he signed from to go to Palace. 101 games at Bristol Rovers, 272 games at Palace, 207 at Leeds United. Then he moved to Everton, 86 games, which he was a massive fundamental part of the Everton side that got fourth as well under David Moyes and got the Champions League spot. That sort of slipped my mind, but yeah, 2004. But yeah, he was at Leeds United from 1996 to 03. When I got into Leeds United, he was my goalkeeper. Like I say, you tend to, as a kid, only get a goalkeeper's jersey if you enjoy being in net. I hated being in net. I was always a striker as a footballer, but I think there were 2 years I got a Nigel Martyn jersey with his name up back. Absolutely idolised him. His agility, just like you say, for someone who isn't really slight, he wasn't big all over the way, but he wasn't a slight. He didn't look the most agile, but his saves were just, his reflexes, his instincts as a goalkeeper were just really good. But the way he commanded his area as well, were really vocal, really great. You know, he would have captain in between the sticks. Really, was such a fundamental part of why we did what we did under David O'Leary. He got the most clean sheets in the Premier League in 96-97 season and 2001-2002. He also was named in the PFA Team of the Year twice, 1998-99 season and 2001-2002 season. Also, when he got the most clean sheets, he was selected for 2 World Cups for England, 98 and 2002, but was second fiddle to Seaman. Unfortunately, around that time there were some really good goalkeepers in England. You know, they had him, Seaman, David James. It was quite hard for him to get that number 1 spot. He did have 23 caps for England. So he had a good England career, really, just when it comes to major tournaments. Yeah. He was outshone by David Seaman, who I can't really argue with. Obviously, a top draw keeper as well. But yeah, born in Cornwall as well, which I didn't know. St Austell, Cornwall, lovely part of the country. So yeah, Nigel Martyn for me, the memories I have of him, the first keeper I saw in any side that I sort of fell in love with. So I was gutted when he left and went to Everton, but we're coming towards the end of his career, and we had Paul Robinson, so we didn't actually have a bad backup there. Really, really good. And I mean, that probably aided Paul Robinson's career going forward. The fact that he was an understudy to Nigel Martyn, learning off him, probably not many more people you could hope to learn off really Nigel Martyn. But yeah, nothing but fond memories of him. Anything you want to touch on, Adam?
No, I mean, say, like, put the video. I say no and then speak. Yes, I put a video together, and like, it's really sad in a way. Look how good the good players, world class footballers we had. Rio Ferdinand, Jonathan Woodgate, Lucas Radaby, like Dakor, Batty, Boya, like incredibly good footballers, incredibly good time era, the games we play. But you know, I just look at it all, and you know, you just want it back now. You know, I think we deserve it. We deserve to see all these players again. You know, we obviously have Rafinha going up. We weren't in the Premier League long enough last time. It was a bit of a fiasco by the time we finished. But like, we deserve to go up. We deserve the 49ers to back it properly. And I really think they will. And I want to get these players back. I want to get, you guys come through and keep them. Archgray, etc. Paul Robinson's an amazing keeper, by the way. Like, he's a brilliant keeper. And he could Paul Robinson could boot a ball miles. He was brilliant with his feet, Paul Robinson.
He scored a few, didn't he, this time as well? He scored a few.
Yeah. But I mean, he's a brilliant place I remember Paul Robinson came in for a few games, and he did the Barcelona performance, etc. But then everyone said, "Oh, we should stay in." But then Martyn came back, and he was a cut above still. Like, he was so experienced, and he would have been England #1 for a long time if it wasn't for Dave Seaman, who was a class keeper in his own right, of course. But yeah, brilliant goalkeeper.
Yeah, CB. Everyone wanted him before he come to Leeds. Well, I'm glad he chose us because he gave us some great years. Yeah, that Under the Cosh one, I've seen bits of it. I've not seen it all, but I've seen bits of it. I do need to sit down and watch the full episode of that.
He plays cricket now, doesn't he? He plays a lot of cricket. I think
he does.
Which is, I mean, hand-eye, I guess, but yeah.
David James was a liability. He had his moments, didn't he? David Seaman was
he's called Calamity James, wasn't he? That's what
he is. Yeah, he is. And he had a lot of England caps, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, he became goalkeeper after Seaman, didn't he? He became England #1 for quite a few years, David James. But he came more solid over time. Like, I think early in career he was Calamity James. But he got more solid over time.
No, he did 100%. And this is Mervyn Day was great for Leeds in the 89-90 season. Robinson's goal against Swindon in the cup. Yeah, I remember that. Priestley went at that game. He always talks about it at the end where he popped up with that header. Phenomenal. But yeah, he just really good memories. I thought it'd be nice to have a goalkeeper one, and yeah, like I say, it's I don't think there's been a goalkeeper come anywhere close. And I know we've dropped down the divisions since obviously Martin and Paul Robinson. There's been no one come close. And as good as Mellier's been at times, obviously he's let himself down. It's about time now we get someone like you say, Adam. So get some players when we go up this time that can sort of bring those times back to us. And I know it's a difficult, it's a different era, isn't it? But it'd be so nice to have that sort of quality in all areas. And goalkeeper for me, if you can get anyone as half as good as Martin, just go get him for Premier League, because we need someone like that. We need someone. He was the epitome of a goalkeeper that wins you points on his own. You saw the saves there. I know it's a highlight reel. You can clip. I'm sure you can clip up an all-out 1 million for maybe 10 seconds, but it's there in it. You know, we need someone who can win us points like that, and we haven't had that since those days 20 odd years ago, Paul.
No. You need a goalkeeper. Your defense is really confident ahead. Like, you know, he's got to be a leader, vocal, all those sorts of things. I think it's massive going up this time. Need a really strong, confident, competent, obviously, goalkeeper.
No, I agree, buddy. I do agree. Let me just get into, before we wrap it up, I'm going to get into some of the starred comments. We're going to try and cut us time down a little bit from like 4 hours down to like an hour-ish.
Yeah. Just try the same day as we started.
Exactly. It's almost midnight now when we stop, but we try to get it. I waffle a lot, don't I, Adam? So we try.
Yeah, you do. And I'm always very concise to the point. It's all you.
Yeah, always, mate, always. So I've started a few going through the show. So bring this one up. Superman fan, would you keep Harrison with us in the Prem, or would you let him go to the MLS? What do you think of Christian exit being organised? Well, I'll jump in with this one, pal. Harrison, I would not have him back. No, it was hot and cold. Harrison did things in clusters of games and then went clusters of games doing nothing. For me, it was okay. I didn't mind him. I think if it had stayed with Leeds, it'd have done really good at this level. I think you've seen at Everton. It's just not working for him now. I do believe he will go to the MLS or maybe to another country where it's a similar level to the Championship, but he'll feel. I feel it's one of them, me, a bit arrogant. He don't want to play at this level when really this is probably his level. He'd stand out at Championship level. I think I'll give him his credit there. I think he'd be a decent player at this level, but Premier League level is not for me. I would definitely let him go. And I think Christensen as well. I've seen we're getting about 5 million for him or something, a bit of a snip of what we paid for him, but you are a couple of years further down the line. 2 years of his contract's gone. I don't think he's a Premier League player at all. I don't think he was when we signed him. I'm really happy to see both of them go. I won't lie, Superman. How about you, Adam?
Yeah, so when Christensen goes with 3 years of his contracts, and whether if it's 4-year contract, if it's 10 million, there's only 2.5 million left was amortized. So we are making an accounting profit of that. So it's not the end of the world. And yeah, he should go. Harrison, since Moyes coming, he started playing him left wing. I know he's got some injuries, but he's using him left wing, and that's like Dyche using him in 10 on the right, and that's not his game. Just again, simplify his game, and he's looking decent out there. I know he still laughs. He did a corner the other day, didn't he? Where he just curled it straight off the pitch from the right hand side. There's still some ridiculous things going on, but I think he's quite a functional, and functional is about as much praise I can give him. I think he's a functional Premier League player.
Oh, you really?
Yeah, I do.
I would disagree on that, mate. I don't.
But function, you're mystified by functional, like high praise indeed. But yeah, I imagine if Sheffield United go up, they could be 15 million for Harrison, maybe Harrison, and they'd think they've got a decent player for the Premiership. That would surprise me. So yeah.
Yeah, maybe
we'll make some money off him. I think we'll make some money off him still. That's important.
Hopefully. Yeah, maybe as a bottom Premier League sort of side player, but we have lofty ambitions, even though we would be a newly promoted side. So you're probably saying he's a newly promoted side sort of player, but just not a Leeds United.
Yeah, I mean, I think but if him and the family, but there's so many bridges here now. They can.
Yeah, they have.
I don't want to see any more wages go to him, anything like that. No, there's not. I've got no interest in playing for Leeds.
And the thing is, now
I'd rather see you on the left wing.
You wouldn't, mate. You wouldn't. But when you look at it as well, it's like he's such a level down on what we've got this season. Imagine you don't sign Solomon and then you keep the other three and you bring out Harrison in to replace it. It's just night and day. He's not fit to lace the boots of the forward.
Do you know what Harrison is over Solomon though? He's a much better system player. And like Solomon in the Championship is a cut above attacker. So he produces those assists and goals and moments. In the Premiership, he'll do that less. And his defensive work is quite poor at actually. So it's a bigger discussion. Solomon, if we go up, I think we'll struggle as well because I think other Premier League clubs will come in for him. Solomon. But anyway, let's not.
I agree. Lee Sawyer, hey up, mate. I was told by a guy today at Ellen Road that Harrison has been told he's not welcome back at Leeds by Murat. Leeds want him gone. Yeah, that won't surprise me at all. It's all obviously a bit hearsay is this, but I do agree with that. That will have been said, mate. He'll know he's not welcome back. Harrison got a Leicester finally in the Championship. Yeah, get yourself gone, mate. Yeah. A Superman fan. Nobody can beat our form. We've been in the last 17 games unbeaten. Let's keep it all going. All eyes on Burnley, Sheffield United as well, as we need to keep the pressure on. And Rothwell and Solomon signed permanently. What do you think, Adam?
All the pressure stuff. All eyes on them. They're feeling all the same pressure as we are. All we're chasing back on is a load of rubbish. It's the same pressure for them, all their players, their fans, etc. Don't score in the first half hour, they'll be shitting themselves. Rothwell and Solomon, as I say, Solomon is a big debate for me, and so is Rothwell, because Tanaka, Gruev, Ampadu makes you rather 3 centre midfielders. You're playing 2 centre midfielders. Rothwell as a fourth, is that good enough for the Premier League? I think Rothwell's a really good player, but there's been obviously he's never made in the Premier League. Anyone that's had in the Premier League tries to sell him back down. So there's a big debate there. I think I'm going to say Solomon's going to score 2 goals tomorrow, but I think I want better than both.
I agree, mate. I agree. Is Gradle American Noise Ivory Coast, isn't it? Max Gradle. Yeah, no, I think we're doing it both. Better than both. I like Rothwell, mate. I do, but I would sign him as a squad player. But
do you think we need better than Solomon?
No, because I think the mix of having Solomon and Ramazani is good enough for me. You've got to look at it and go, it's not just all on Solomon. You've not got Solomon and Jaden Anthony, have you? You've got Solomon and Ramazani. And if I'm honest, based on now, this might sound wild, but for me, we haven't seen enough of Ramazani. He could be better than Solomon still. He could be the better player of the two. For me, I think Ramazani is an amazing talent. Yeah, so having them both to complement each other, I think that is enough. Where, you know what I mean? Solomon and an average player backing him up, maybe not, but Solomon with Ramazani backing him up, that could easily switch around. Yeah, of course, it's a fair point. It's come out. It
depends on money, doesn't it, and what you can get elsewhere, etc. And
yeah, of course.
Because I think other Prem club might want Solomon. I think the price could be boosted up as a result of that.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a major thing. There'll be loads of people in for him. There'll be Levy will be able to push the boundaries on that price tag, won't he? I think he'll want a bit of a battle for signature, and I think he'll get it. And I think he'll get it. And I think the 49ers will be brave enough and smart enough to walk away. They'll have a figure and they won't go above it. And I think, if I'm honest, I think we miss out on Solomon. I think we initially have talked to him. I think we want him. I think we'd go for him. He's a lone player that some of us are falling in love with. But if I'm honest, I think he slips through his fingers, buddy.
I think you might be right there.
I think he might be slips through his fingers. Another Ben White sort of saga, maybe. Right, Andy Rose says, is there any anxiety creeping in on the home stretch? Connor and Cagey were both giving off that vibe, I thought. Well, to be fair, Andy, I don't watch much of Connor stuff, but I watched one of the video the other day, and he's super confident, to be fair. I haven't seen him saying much other than basically touch on the metrics and stuff. When you look at all the stats like we've touched on today, it only screams one thing, really: promotion. So I mean, for me personally, obviously I've said in this stream already, super confident. I'll be nervous tomorrow to see what their fixtures are. I've always stated I don't really look at other fixtures, Adam. I don't watch any other games really now. Doing this, family work, and Leeds United take up most of my footballing mood. I don't watch anybody now. I don't. It bores a life out watching other sides. I'm only interested in Leeds United, so I don't even always look at the other fixtures. Leeds will be fine. I'm now looking at other teams for the first time this season, and I will be tuned in. I will be watching. I will be wanting to know what's happening Saturday, and then Sunday comes along. I'll be nervous. I'll have anxiety. I have that anyway, just in general life. But I'm not worried about us not going up, no. But how many times have I said to you, Adam, I want to have these feelings. It's what I'm a football fan for. I want to be nervous.
It's funny, as humans, the negative thoughts win out an awful lot. And so if Burnley draws tomorrow and we win it on Sunday, we'll be 5% more confident, right? Saying around that. If Burnley Burnley Sheffield United both win tomorrow and we lose on Sunday, we'll lose like 20% confidence. Or something ridiculous, like everyone will be in a completely different boat. We'll all be feeling completely different about it. And it really is game by game. Every game, as in for all three teams, is huge. And so they are competing for 2 less points. They've got to play each other, which is absolutely massive. But of course, when you're trying to form an opinion of anything, you look at patterns. You look at to try and actually form an opinion. You look at all the information ahead of you, in front of you. So, and I'm not seeing any issues at all at the moment. Lose Sunday, Solomon looks knackered, and so does Aronson. They're sitting in this Friday going, "Oh no, obviously got Wednesday in between as well." But it's flip flop time for all of us. And I say, I think the negative can win out really easy. It will be a bigger drop off percentage wise. But honestly, sitting here now, I'm trying to keep level headed about the whole thing, even after a win, loss, whatever. I just don't see it. I think we are so. I was looking at stats there, and I thought, well, it's still great fun, but. You got to play Snacker, you got to play Solomon, you got to play James. Great, no matter how good the form is, stats is, and everything else. Leeds come down. Everyone says the best team in the league. It's a different game. It just is, and that sounds arrogant and whatever, ignorant, whatever else. But it really is. That's how I see it.
Yeah,
which is better.
Miles better. Andy Jones. Andy says, does Harry Gray get a senior debut if Leeds are champions with 2 or 3 games to go? I would potentially say, yeah. If we were champions, guaranteed with 2 or 3 games left, I think he would mix it up a little bit and see who's ready for Prem, maybe. What do you think, Adam?
Potentially. I mean, Chambers is officially ahead of Gray at the moment. So
yeah.
I think Fark's massive in training. No one on the outside knows how he's getting on in training. If he's looking the part, which by what everyone says about how good he is, then yeah, there's every chance if he's not quite looking the part or not looking the part in a couple of facets, then he won't, will he? So it's really hard to tell. So yeah, I think there's a strong possibility that if he's training as well, but I think he might creep out somewhere suddenly that he's scoring, like he's looking really good in training. Because he's supposed to be that good.
Yeah, no, he is. Yeah, Michael, that answered the same question as well, mate. So yeah, I think if we were promoted as champions, a few games to go, I think we'll see him in some sort of capacity. But yeah, we'll have to see. What's this one? Yeah, a few people. Yeah, Andy said it earlier as well. Gavin says, I would like to see Willie and Largy get some more minutes. Willie looks sharp when he come on. Yeah, it's weird now. It looks like it's gone from Ramazani being ahead of Nonto to Nonto being ahead of Ramazani. I don't foresee another game, surely, where Ramazani gets no minutes. I mean, you are talking 2 games back-to-back now with 0 minutes. It seems wild, but we have touched on it, obviously, after the West Brom game as well. It's getting to a point now where he isn't just throwing on 5 subs because he can make 5 subs. He ain't bringing them all on willy-nilly all at once. He's sort of a bit more measured now. His Farquhar's approach, and Solomon will always come off, I think, for fitness worries anyways. He's the least fit of the 2. Dan James can run all day. You don't have to flog Dan James. You can bring him off. You have got 2 really good wingers there, but it appears at the minute, Adam, he's only really bringing 1 on. Unless we are 2 or 3 goals clear, I think that it's just bring them both off. You can swap all 3, all 4 in attack, really can do what you want up there. But while it's been tight, and the last 3 games have been tight, and that's no coincidence as to why you've not seen Ramazani get minutes, so you've not seen one of the wingers come on. What do you think?
I think it's a very basic level of thinking about this. For Dan James to do something in a game, he can have 1 touch. He can lift it over the top. He can run in behind and play across, get an assist. He can have 2 touches to do something. Solomon to do something, usually it's, 6, 7, 8 touches. So if one of them's tired, it tells more with Solomon. I know that's a bit backward thinking. So that's why he's the one that always comes off. And I think if you look at the West Brom game, I think they always had 2 people around him as well. They made the game really tough for him. I think Nonto coming on is a bit because his ball retention is better than Ramazani. Ramazani tries more. He's a bit more of a maverick. And I think sometimes in those tighter games, even Fark thinks I can't, because second halves, if we're trying to win the game, we press right up. Centre backs 40 yards from the goal, their goal. So if you lose it, you're absolutely stuffed because it only takes a couple of players break and you can have a 3-on-2, whatever. So that's where I think Ramazani does, in those situations, Ramazani doesn't come on the wing because he will try and nutmeg with someone, he will try and push it past someone, he will try and flick. Whereas Nonto is a much more structured, again, I've got to say, I've bored myself now, but it's much more of a system player. So James will never come off because he can take 1 touch and do anything, much more so than any other player on our side. Him and Perot, those moments. That's why they make good subs, by the way. That's why Perot and James work as subs, because they can take 1 or 2 touch and do something.
Yeah.
And none of our other players are like that. None of them.
No, 100%. And there were subs at one point, weren't they? And they've played themselves in and just been.
They just hit the ground right. They come on and they look just as good as they did if they started. Because again, one touch finish, 1 touch assist.
Yeah, I never saw Dan James at one point. When he was a bit of a super sub, wasn't he? Same with Pirro. I never saw Dan James up until the start of last season, I suppose, ever been more than that. And for last year and a bit, well, last 2 years, sorry, 2 seasons now, we're nearly at the end of it. He's been absolutely phenomenal, Dan James.
Yeah,
And
unbelievable.
he is the most likeable player in our club for me. He's the one everybody wants to do well, and everyone's absolutely buzzing with him. You know, he's got his song now. I think he's a Leeds fan at heart, whether he is or not in real life. But he's just, yeah, he's phenomenal. I hope he gets the new deal. I hope he's at Leeds now till the end of his career, or until he loses his pace, which hopefully is the end of his career. I love
Dan
him. I love him.
James is the best winger we've had in the Championship since we've come down. That includes Somerville, Nonto, Solomon.
Agree.
And I think he's the most prem ready because, again, his game is so simple. Because he can cross really well, he can strike a football, and he simplifies his game so much. And he's so quick, and he's quick at any level. He's that quick.
And best thing about him, mate, as well, he's been in Prem, so he knows what to expect. He's not someone who's going up for the first time from Championship. Do you know what I mean? He already knows. He's at Leeds United, which is a massive club. He's been at Scum, which is obviously a massive club. He knows what the pressure is. He knows what Premier League football's like. He's a Welsh international. He's missed a penalty, what's knocked him out of competitions. He's been there. He's done it all, really.
Yeah.
So he is ready now for that step up, and I cannot wait. Yeah, he's just so consistent, CB. He really is.
I'm glad you moved that, because I don't know who Caleb Wiley is.
Yeah, I don't even. I was going to say that.
Yeah, Caleb. Yeah, let's get him. Good stuff.
DJ's 1 year left in his contract at the end of the season. They really need to be tying that up, and I'm sure.
Well, that's Angus is off, and that's what I'm looking at here. Peter McCormick's coming in as the new executive vice chairman, which is a bit of a different role, and a bit he'll oversee the football much more, because there's a real like hierarchy management vacuum with Angus going, because you know, like, he stays at the end of the season, but because Angus get involved in everything, and how good he was at his job's another thing altogether. But you know, like him knowing about our transfer, you got to sort of sideline him a little bit. Day-to-day management decisions, going forward, marketing, merchandise, stadium, transfers, you know, like I'm surprised he's staying a little bit, you know, actually until the end of the season. And the brilliant thing is they've acted really quickly. And it's Peter McCormack's coming in. He's quit his Premier League job, and they're clearly very experienced in football, and they've tweaked the role, which is really interesting. So I think he will be the main club day-to-day football guy going forward, which is huge.
Yeah,
absolutely
100%. Huge. What do you think to what Dr. Cox says? He should get shut of him now, put him on guard and leave.
That's what I said the other day, Dr. Cox. Exactly that. What are we keeping him for? Like, he's going to one of our rivals for next season. Like, we got to keep so much info from him from now until the end of the season. Like SA merchandising, corporate transfers, managers, Nick's managers lined up. Nick's coaches lined up, deals, coaching academies. All that's got to be kept from him now. All of it.
It's not like he's going to a title contender. He's going to a side who you'd expect to be mid to low end Premier League.
He'll be the enemy within. Like, I mean, that's what he is right now.
Yeah.
I am really surprised, and I say they must have sidelined him to a massive point of it. And I was concerned because suddenly, like right now, Daniel Farke's the most senior football man in the club. And that's a really, you know, other than Angus, who's not really a footballing guy, that's not a great place to be with managing and trying to go up to the Premier League. It can't be like that.
No.
So straight away, this Peter coming in is a brilliant thing. Hopefully he's good at his job. Like, it's a brilliant thing he got someone in, and hopefully now he's very good at his job as well.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. Yeah, big news this week, isn't it, that he's leaving, but I think we all expected it. We're there to bridge that gap from owner to owner. He's done it now. Let's move on. And yeah. Michael Gott said, bit of an interesting one, would like to know the panel and people's truthful opinion, maybe a poll. We're not going to do a poll, but with all our game KO's kickoffs being moved, is this good for us and shows our pull? I would say it does. Or is it deliberate to hamper us? I think the latter. I don't think they think that, to be fair. I do think it's because of us pull. I think Sky TV is fucking shit because they want Leeds on. You know, it absolutely hampers with the travel and stuff for away fans traveling. It's awful, really. They seem to change every long distance fixture for us. Seems to get changed. Obviously, Portsmouth's another one. Bit of a nightmare, but it's more our pull, I think, rather than just deliberately trying to
100%. It's viewership. That's
we think that though, don't we? Bloody, they're doing it again to us, and you know we have been hardly done to over years. You know, points deductions and all sorts that make us think like this. But it is literally who's the biggest.
It's just viewership. It's just
of course it is.
We get loads more viewers than anyone else because we're massive. They know
massive. Absolutely massive.
We're a massive Premier League club. We're in a bleeding championship. So there you go.
100%. And this is another interesting one, really. I heard this. Andy Rose said, did anyone hear the Rodon audio interview? He admitted he was concerned he'd had a few too many head knocks so far this season. I mean, it's massive. I'm a big Google League fan as well. And it's very highly documented about the knocks to the head in games and stuff. And like my young and plays rugby now is only 5 and they can't do full tackle till I think they're under 9s or under 10s. Try and protect what you can in sport when it comes to winning the football or, going up and clashing heads. It's part of the game. It happens, but it's definitely something that's creeping in sport a lot more. You're seeing a lot of these head knocks, early dementia diagnosis, and a lot of it you're seeing. What was that Bradford City player that Dean Windass? I think he got. Something came out. I'm sure with Dean Windass recently as well, and he's going through something similar. And I haven't seen that with Joe Rodon, but I can imagine some of these top level players. It's definitely creeping into people's thinking now because it's just so prevalent out there. Have you got anything to touch on that, Adam? Or
no, not really. But absolutely right. I mean, we're not built to head something, to keep heading something, let alone that's just a football. Because they're not letting their kids head the ball in training anymore, do they, to a certain age, or maybe in matches as well. But it's just, I can see the worry. Because I know people, not saying they want to chat here, whatever. Oh yeah, but he's really well remunerated. He gets such good wages. It's nothing. If you've got your health, who cares how much money you got? Health is everything, and I can completely understand how he's worried.
100%, and you can't say can use a footballer, a big centre half like Rodon. I'm not a dip ball. You've just got to go out there and do it, but. It's becoming, it's out in press. It's out there a lot now, and it's definitely something obviously he's thinking about. He's mentioned it in an interview, which I haven't seen, but very interesting.
As on this, apparently Jer stated Falk is not encouraging managing our front office too. So the reason we didn't get any transfers is because Falk didn't want anyone in January. He had his list of players and we didn't get there, and that was it. The club would have done stuff. I know everyone go, oh yeah, the 49ers got back Falk, and what we can't have. So that was January. We can't have Falk identifying targets as a manager in the transfer window. It's just, I know. I'd like Leeds go and have a scout of those. I found this player. Yeah, it's like Schmidt. He won't play Schmidt because it wasn't one of his players. That's the only one who bought. It wasn't one of his players, I think. So it's really important we build that backroom team now. Get on with it.
I agree.
Really important. We got to hit the ground running. As soon as the transfer window opens, or before, we've got to start buying players. As soon as we go up, get on with it.
That's why it's imperative, isn't it? We get up as early as we can. Get the points in the bag where maybe the title's not secure, but the top 2 secure, and you can start getting your ducks in a row there. Get these calls early because they'll already have the list. They'll already know the people they want to target. As soon as we're secure, they can start making these links and can't they? These phone calls.
And that's why they're talking about director of football now, aren't they? This Peter guy's coming as well, so we're starting to build it, pad it out a bit more, which is great. It's just what we need. It's a simple base of being a Premier League club. You've got to have your management and the hierarchy and everything else set up to run properly. And the biggest thing right away is to get players in.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I think we'll leave it at that, guys. I think we'll leave it at that. We'll cover quite a lot there. An hour and 17 minutes we've gone over the hour that we're aiming for, but that's we've still shaded off some time there, mate. We're still shaded off at least 30 minutes. But I think we'll leave it at that, guys. So thank you so much for being here. Please like and please subscribe. I would be very much appreciative of that. Portsmouth Sunday. I'm not doing a watch along. I've seen Danny put it in there. Am I doing a watch along? I'm not, Danny. If Matty, might do a watch along Sunday if Matty isn't. Oh, Danny, you should do. I like that, mate. You know me, I can only do a watch along if it's a 8 o'clock, 7:45, 8 o'clock kickoff. I'll only do that. I think the only next game I'll do this season, which I'll watch along, will be the Middlesbrough away game. Other than that, I won't do any more watch alongs. And then I'll have a match day vlog out for the Wednesday fixture against Millwall. But I'm shaking it up a little bit, though. I've told you, I'm shaking channel up a little bit. I've got a new show I'm going to bring out. I'm going to have a match review on Sunday night at 10 o'clock. We've got a bit of a panel show. I have a few people on there. And then Monday, I'm going to have a different show touching on some. We'll see on Monday anyway. So plenty to content for you next week. Let's be fair, 3 games in 6 days is going to be massive. So I'm going to be here every night probably. But that's it. We'll call it a day there. Thank you so much, Adam. Have a good weekend, my good friend.
You too, Matty.
Everybody in the chat, take care and good night.